Hi everyone, Joe Redmond here, and I'm the creator and host of Burnley fan channel and podcast TurfCast. Just giving my thoughts ahead of this weekend's game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Burnley and, of course, Tottenham Hotspur in the FA Cup third round. First of all, I just want to say I am not bothered about this game whatsoever, and I don't mean that with any disrespect to the FA Cup, because of course I would love it if Burnley won the FA Cup or went far in the FA Cup. Got a doubt at Wembley. We've not been to Wembley since. Well, in a decent sense, since 2009. Obviously, we've played you guys there since when you were playing there instead of at White Hart Lane. But we've not had a proper doubt at Wembley since 2009. So, of course, I don't mean any disrespect to the FA Cup. I would love Burnley to win it. Of course, I would. If we could do a Wigan, win it, and go down, I'd take it all day long, because I do think we are in a position where we are probably going to go down. But obviously our priority isn't the FA Cup this season. We are not in a position to be thinking, oh, we could be that outsider club that goes on to do well in it. Obviously, if we were 13th, 12th, 11th, something like that, and in a comfortable position, I'd be looking at this game thinking, right, Spurs have got a few players out due to international tournaments. Let's go there and cause an upset. Let's go far in the cup. But for me, the Premier League's got to take priority this season. We've not been great at all this season, and that's an understatement. Probably the worst performance of the season was at home against you guys. Now, there was some stinkers earlier on in the season. There was at home against you guys. There was at home against Villa. There was at home against Chelsea. We weren't great earlier in the season. But to be honest with you, we've been getting a lot better recently, and the signs are there that we will be better. I wouldn't say might, but we will be better in the second half of the season to what we were in the first half of the season. Just think we've probably left ourselves a little bit too much to do, if we're going to be honest with ourselves here as Burnley fans. And I think most Clarets do agree with me. We've probably left ourselves with a little bit too much to do, which is a shame, because we were so good last time out against Villa. And if it wasn't for some absolutely abhorrent refereeing decisions, then we could have got something from that game and potentially even got on to win it. And Villa, everyone knows how well they're doing at the minute and how hard they are to contain with the forwards that they've got and the midfield that they've got as well. But we did quite well. We defended well in the second half. There was some silly mistakes in there that led to some of their goals, and we do need to cut them out. That's been our main thing. It's just silly mistakes leading to goals, giving the ball away, dallying on the ball, getting tackled, things like that. We are slowly getting better, though, as I've said, and I do think we'll be better in the second half of the season. I still think we'll finish above Luton. Probably that bit's going to be clipped up and shown back to me at the end of the season when they finish 11th, because they've actually started doing really well, to be fair to Luton. But I just feel like their luck's going to run out a little bit. I mean, look, they beat Sheffield United with 2 own goals. Come on, I mean that's luck. I mean, you do create your own luck, and they were pressing, but they just weren't in the game at all. And I do think we'll finish above Luton, but I think we'll finish 18th and probably go down. I've been thinking that we'll go down since we lost at home to Palace. Now, again, nothing against Palace. They're, quite an organised side. They're one of the Premier League's, mainstays. They've been in it for years now and flirt with relegation every now and then, but they always seem to push up towards mid-table. But they did not have to do anything to beat us at the Turf earlier in the season. They literally we just gave them 2 goals, and it was just so poor. And that's what I'm saying again about these mistakes. But yeah, just going back to the FA Cup game. I mean, not many Burnley fans you're going to see are going to be overly bothered by it. Like, number one, it's on Friday night. Like, I've not yet had a chance to go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I believe the first year you was at the stadium was the year we went down. I might be wrong on that. Apologies if I am. But I remember there being a night game then against you at the stadium. And it's too far. Like, the game's going to finish at 10 p.m., probably 10:15 if you count, with all these new added time rules. That's what I'm trying to say. These new added time rules. It could be finished by 10:15. So then I don't know what the traffic's like near your new stadium. But then say you don't get out of the immediate area of the stadium till 11. You're not getting home till 3 or 3. It's too much for me, if I'm being honest. But with a 5-year-old boy as well, I would like to have taken him with me. That was the plan. The original plan was to take my little boy with me, with my dad and him. 3 generations of Clarets taking in this big new stadium for the first time. But as soon as it moved to Friday night, there was no chance. There was no chance from me. Obviously, he can't stay up that late. He would probably fall asleep on the ground. And same with my dad, to be fair. He's in his 60s now. So it's a tough one. I know it's probably debated on your show quite a few times and other Spurs podcasts, but they just don't care about the fans, do they? Like, they just wouldn't have moved this game. Have it on Saturday noon, something like that, if you were that desperate to show it on the TV, or even like 5 o'clock on Saturday. I'd have still probably gone to that, but 8 o'clock. not for me. Not for me. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of Burnley fans will have the same idea. So I wouldn't expect too many Burnley fans at the game, if I'm honest with you. 2,000, probably something like that, whereas you've probably got more than double that on a Saturday. It's a shame, but I'm going to try and get to the game. I think it's our last away game of the season in the league. We'll probably already be down by then. But yeah, I'll probably get to it then and hopefully taking the brand shiny new stadium at that point. So yeah, looking forward to the game in a way though, because I'm looking forward to not having any pressure on us. Like, even when we're playing because we're in a position that we're in now, even when we're playing the likes of Man City and Liverpool, you're still on your phone worrying. You're still looking at how Luton are getting on, which is never a sentence I thought I'd say as a Premier League football fan. You're still looking at how Sheffield United are doing, how Brentford are doing, and seeing Forest win and Bournemouth suddenly turn into Real Madrid. And even though you're playing these big teams where it is essentially a free hit, you're still worrying at other results and worrying at where, the implications that this is going to give. So I'm looking forward to just not being bothered. I'm just looking forward to flicking the telly on. As I said, it's a shame it's Friday night, I can't make it. But flicking the telly on, watching us hopefully play well and have a heroic defeat, and then we can concentrate on the league, because that's just the position that we're in at the minute. And it's a shame. We will probably see some changes. Or should I say, you'll probably see some changes from the team that we played last time out against Villa, but there won't be too many. Vincent Kompany in his press conference earlier today did say he will not make too many changes. Now, there's going to be a couple of enforced changes. Jordan Bayer, he will be injured. He won't be playing. And Sander Berg, he will be suspended, so he won't be playing. So them two won't be there. Obviously, Jordan Bayer is one of our centre-backs. Sander Berg is centre midfielder. Sander Berg's done very well this season. Jordan Bayer's taken a little bit of time to adapt to the Premier League, but you can see him getting better. Probably one of our, if not our best player last season, though. And I do remember doing some stuff earlier in the season for sort of like some national media, saying that he will be one to watch this season. I just feel a little bit like he is getting better. So it's a shame to see him injured. But it gives other players a chance. You'll probably see O'Shea at centre-back. I'm hoping to see Ekdal alongside him, but it probably won't be. You might see Delcourt. So that will be one of the enforced changes. The other one, Sander Berg, you'll probably see Josh Cullen come in, potentially, and play him alongside Brownhill, who's started getting better. Brownhill, I always felt like the Premier League was a step too high for Brownhill, but at the minute he's getting better and doing quite well alongside Sander. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does alongside Josh, because they'll change the roles up a little bit. Sander's the box-to-box midfielder in the current partnership, while Josh sits back and tries to mop everything up. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does alongside Cullen, because Josh will probably be the one pushed further forward, whereas Cullen will be the one to mop everything up. And I just felt at the start of the season, Cullen was getting overrun far too easily. So that could probably play into your guys' hands a little bit, if I'm being honest with you. Other than that, I think you might see the goalkeeper changed. Obviously, we've brought James Trafford in. He's a very young goalkeeper. He's been exposed quite a lot, if I'm being honest with you, early in the season. But he's getting better. The signs of improvement are there. And he's clearly going to be England's number one goalkeeper in 5 years. He's going to have a very good career. He's going to achieve things that, most people watching this will only ever dream of. But he was exposed quite a lot. And a lot of Burnley fans wanted Muric, our other goalkeeper, to be starting. And I do think he will start against you guys, because he started in the cup games in the EFL Cup. And I do think he'll start again against you guys on Friday night, tomorrow night at the time of recording. So they're the changes that I think will be made. Potentially some other ones the wingers are anyone's choice. You could see anyone's choice for wingers with Burnley. We've got that many at the club. But other than that, I think it will remain predominantly the same. Keep Lau Foster up top. He's had 8 weeks off due to mental health issues, and he's getting back and he's getting better. So keep that momentum going for him. He scored against Villa. If he can score against you guys, that will give his confidence a massive boost, and we need him. We really do need him. And with AFCON, he's obviously South Africa's main striker, but he's not going because of these mental health issues. So you've got teams around us like Luton losing a few players, Sheffield United losing a few players, Forest losing half their squad, Brentford losing a few. So if we can get Lyle Foster firing on all cylinders and getting another goal against you guys and then kicking on with some confidence, then, this AFCON and an Asia Cup scenario could actually benefit Burnley. So fingers crossed on that. But yeah, just looking ahead to the game, I do think you guys will beat us. I don't think it'll be as comfortable as what it was earlier in the season. I say that with a little bit of reluctance. If we were going with a full strength squad, even if you also had a full strength squad, I do think we will give a better account of ourselves in this game to what we did earlier in the season. Because as I mentioned earlier, we were so bad at the start of the season, whereas we are getting better and better and better now. So yeah, I do think we'll give a good account of ourselves, but I think we will get beat. I think you will beat us. I'm going to go for 3-1 Spurs, something like that, maybe 2-1, a little bit tighter. But when you just turn the pressure on and come at us and things like that, then yeah, I think you will crack us because we're not great at the back. I'll be honest with you, we're not great at the back. So it's going to be interesting with how we're going to cope with what I feel is our best centre back missing in Jordan Bayer. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do that. And our best midfielder as well. Like we are missing some of our best players here. As you are as well, I'm aware of that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we adapt to all them changes. But yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Sorry, it's always a pleasure to come on your channel, mate. It's a fantastic channel. It's one of the channels that I do look at for inspiration. But good luck for the rest of the season. Just not on Saturday.